Hi guys, for those of you that are new to following me, then welcome. For those of you that already follow me on Instagram and have followed me over onto YouTube, welcome back. This is a very special full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius reading. So we will be experiencing a full moon in Sagittarius on the 5th of June. So let me begin by going through the ground rules. So please note that the energies are interchangeable. They are not gender specific. Please take the message how it resonates and discard the rest. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can email me at moonbutterflytarot@gmail.com. Alternatively, you can direct message me on Instagram and you can find a list of the services that I offer under the highlights section of my page. Today I'll be pulling from the Moonology Oracle cards. I will also be using the Greer tarot deck, and I will be closing out your reading using the Angels of Abundance Oracle cards. So without further hesitation, let's begin. Just a small disclaimer. Whilst I am not an astrologist, I am an intuitive tarot reader, and I do believe that astrology and numerology coupled together do help to give a lot more explanation of the thoughts, the emotions, and the behaviors that we display. And I like to include them where I can in order to give more depth and clarity to my readings. So we're going to start off with the fact that this full moon is happening on the 5th of June. So 5 in numerology represents change, and it represents transformation and adaptation, which is a recurring theme during this season simply because we are now in Gemini season, and Gemini is a mutable sign which represents being adaptable and being flexible and being open to change. So this is further echoed in this full moon. Now, full moons are a time in which we release that which no longer serves us. The lunar eclipses are very sort of potent in this sense, because what it does is it enhances the energy of removing things that no longer serve you by allowing sort of illumination over areas of your life that may be hidden or unseen, and forces us to face those sort of emotions that are hidden and unseen, or patterns of behaviors that are hidden and unseen, so that we have to change those. So it's a beautiful energy. So for me, this is a continuation of the storyline of the full moon that we experienced in Scorpio last month, which was all about endings and beginnings. So this lunar eclipse represents the closing out of things that no longer serves the highest mind, but also providing illumination over that which may be hidden but is no longer purposeful. What was really important and significant last month, which I did not discuss in my videos, was the lunar nodes that are shifting. So there are two lunar nodes, and they are the north and the south, and they, like the lunar nodes, essentially are the elliptic. So it's the cycle of the orbit, of where the sort of moon travels along. Now the north node is very much focused on destiny and moving towards your sort of divine life path or your purpose. And the North Node was in the sign of Cancer, which is the 4th house in astrology, which governs your home and your family life. The South Node it sort of represents karmic debt. So it represents lessons that we need to learn. And this sort of moved from the sign of Capricorn, which is governs the 10th house of work and achievement, and it's now moved into the 9th house, which is ruled by Sagittarius, which is of the higher mind. So we've got the shift from the North Node going from Cancer into Gemini, which Gemini is ruled by the 3rd house, which is about the intellect. And then we've got the South Node going from Capricorn to Sagittarius, which is about sort of your work and your achievement, and then moving into the house of your higher mind. So these changes for me are very significant because it represents an enlightenment. It represents a spiritual awakening. And it also represents expanded consciousness. So this is beautiful energy, which means that we're starting to see things from a different perspective, a higher perspective. The full moon in Sagittarius enters at 15 degrees. And if we add 1 and 5 together, that gives us the number of 6. Now, 6 is all about harmony and balance and love. And the 6th house in astrology is the house that governs your work and also governs balance. So there is a theme from sort of this previous Scorpio full moon about endings and beginnings in order to be able to have what we want and remove what no longer serves us. But what we're going to see play out during this full moon is that those boundaries that have been set from last month are now going to be tested. Now, because Sagittarius represents the Voyager, this suggests that there is going to be a journey or even a discovery of deeper meanings or purpose within your work life, and also creating balance as a result, because a lot of us have spent time indoors now where we have sort of enjoyed being with our family, with our friends, having the time to do the things that we want to do. And now some of us are going to be, especially if you're based in the UK, some of us are going to be going back to work. So we're looking at ways in which we can sort of do the things that we love and do that more of our time rather than being within work. And sort of, we work because we need to work, but we also want to be more in alignment with the things that we enjoy and take up our time with the things that we enjoy. So the other sort of astrological aspect that I want to talk about is the sun and the moon that are in opposition during this time. Now, the sun is the energy of the divine masculine. It represents the first house in astrology, which is the one of yourself and also of desires. Opposition in astrology represents creating balance. Now, the moon, which is the other part of this transit, is the divine feminine energy, which is about the subconscious. It's about the hidden, it's about your intuition, and it's about your connection to your higher self. So there is a balance here between your self and your desires and your intuition sort of leading you towards your divine life purpose. So there's a sort of beautiful synergy between the sun and the moon being in opposition. Now, the last astrological aspect that I will be discussing before doing your reading is the sun squaring Mars and also the moon squaring Mars. Now, squares within astrology do represent some sort of challenge. Now, with the sun being sort of masculine energy and that which represents Leo, and then Mars being sort of fire energy, which represents Aries, this for me is like the equivalent of increased testosterone. So there's going to be a higher level of masculine energy, which is going to mean that there's going to possibly be increased action, increased energy or drive towards completing something. There's definitely going to be that sort of competitive energy that I'm seeing. So because of the fact that there is a surge of this masculine energy, it may mean that you are going to be put in a situation where you may need to sort of defend yourself or your desires. So rather than being combative, what I would advise is to find a way in which you can creatively express yourself, whether this is through literature or art or music or design or craft. Find a way to be able to constructively channel that energy through a medium that will allow self-expression to happen. Now, with the moon squaring Mars, the moon represents that which is hidden and that which is unseen, and it also represents emotions. So this is going to, because of the fact that Mars is that fire energy and it's about sort of taking order, authority, and control, there is going to be a push of you allowing certain emotions that you believed were hidden to resurface. And the reason why these are resurfacing is because of the fact that you're being pushed by the divine to let go of the energies that no longer serve you. So you may feel during this time a little bit of frustration or possibly anger. So you may want to increase the amount of exercise that you're doing around this time. Now, without further hesitation, I am going to begin your reading. I'm going to shuffle the Moonology cards, and I'm going to see what messages Spirit has for us during this full moon and lunar eclipse. I'm going to give it one more shuffle. Oh, so we've got, what card is this? We've got new moon in Cancer. You and your loved ones are safe. We have take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. So I'm going to shuffle again. We have prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus, beautiful. And I will pull one more card. So we have, you're very close to achieving your goal, gibbous moon. So give me a moment to just organize these cards and have a look at these messages from Spirit. We are going to start off in the usual way by looking at the bottom of the deck energy. So we've got the beautiful blue moon, which says, believe in the impossible. Now, what this is talking about is the fact that there is going to be some sort of blessing or some sort of reward by the divine in which you are being recognized for the action that you're taking towards your development, your self-improvement, and your focus on your, for some of you that are already on your spiritual journey, spiritual practice, for some of you that are sort of new to your spiritual journey, it's almost like a discovery, the journey of self-discovery and finding sort of passion within your purpose and finding purpose within everything that you do. So looking at things from a deeper perspective. But in doing this, you are going to be rewarded with something that is going to help you on your journey towards your divine life path or divine life purpose. So this is beautiful energy. What I'm seeing here is you and your loved ones are safe, new moon in Cancer. Now, this for me is about the fact that Spirit is understanding and seeing that for the majority of you that are able to watch this video, we have just been through the last few months where the whole world has come to a standstill because of this pandemic. Now, this is just almost like Spirit reminding you that actually, if you're able to watch this video, more than likely you're at home and you are safe. And it's about expressing sort of a gratitude for the fact that you are in a fortunate position where you can stay at home and that you are safe and that your family are safe. So this is an absolutely beautiful message to kickstart your reading. The next card that we've got is take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. This is about releasing, relaxing, letting go, almost like you can breathe a sigh of relief because you are now sort of being put in alignment with what it is that you should be doing, because you have been forced by staying at home because of this pandemic. You've been forced to reflect on your life from all different aspects. You've been forced to reflect on your health and how your lifestyle is. You've been forced to reflect on your relationships and whether they serve your overall good. You've been forced to focus on your finances and whether you manage your finances effectively and if you are able to gain some sort of growth and development through your money. So there's been a lot. There's also been this sort of focus on developing your intuition and moving towards the things that give you the most amount of joy and happiness by pursuing sort of hobbies, skills, talents, crafts, passions, etc. So you can breathe a sigh of relief because this time that we've had was, I believe, I do feel it was divinely orchestrated, but I also feel like it was Spirit allowing us to reset and realign ourselves so that we can move into the next stage of our life. A lot of people are sort of discussing in the astrology community the significance of these lunar nodes that shifted last month, and the fact that this may be sort of ushering in the beginning of the age of Aquarius. Now, we're coming sort of close to the end of the era of Pisces, which the sort of sun moves into the, when we have the spring equinox, where the sun moves into a different zodiac sign, and I believe that happens every 2,150 years approximately. So Pisces is the energy of water, which is the energy of emotions and feelings. So we're moving from an era of feeling and moving into the age of Aquarius, which represents an age of knowing, which means that we are not only using our intellectual and our higher mind, but we're also using our intuitive mind to guide us as well. Now, what's really beautiful about the fact that we've had this time to breathe out and we've had this time to focus on our passions and our skills and our craft, it has allowed us to be able to see things from a different perspective. And now what we're doing is we're looking at ways in which we can move towards using our talents and our skills and our passions to be able to create prosperity. So a lot of what I have been pulling on in terms of energy has been focused on new jobs, new careers, new businesses, and basically a new direction, and doing things that not only give us prosperity and grounding and security, but things that we actually enjoy, things that we're very passionate about, which is beautiful. So this new moon in Taurus is saying prosperity lies ahead, which for me is a confirmation that whatever it is that you've been investing your time, energy, and effort into is going to be rewarded. The next card that we have is you're very close to achieving your goal, gibbous moon. So for me, this is a double confirmation of the fact that prosperity lies ahead, but this also confirms the energy at the bottom of the deck, which says believe in the impossible, the blue moon. So this is about the fact that the changes that you have made within your lifestyle, not only have they been divinely guided, but they're also supported by the divine, which basically means that you are in alignment with what it is that you should be doing. And we are going to be moving more by what we sort of know, and rather than what we actually feel, we're going to be moving by what we actually know, which will be divinely guided. And this is beautiful. So I'm just going to angle the camera perfect. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to confirm these energies using my Morgan Greer tarot deck. I'm just going to focus on the first card, which is New Moon in Cancer. So we've got the Magician. The Magician is air energy, and the Magician is number 1 in the major arcana, and number 1 is all about new beginnings and a new direction. So in having this pandemic, it has given you a new direction, it has given you a new purpose, it has made you emerge in a stronger way, in a more powerful way. You are now sort of using your higher mind, you are using your intellectual mind, and you're starting to see, for some of you, this also may talk about a spiritual awakening in which your consciousness is elevated, and now you're starting to see that there is an infinite amount of possibilities for you to be able to grow and expand and achieve success. And what we're also seeing from the Magician is that the Magician has the ability to be able to manifest anything. So you have all of the tools at your disposal in order to manifest your dreams and your desires with these newfound goals that you have discovered since we have been in lockdown. Okay, so I am going to confirm disseminating moon. So we've got 2 cards. Oh, that's too many cards that's flipped over. We'll take the one that's dropped. So we have the Chariot. The Chariot is Cancerian energy for me. It confirms the new moon in Cancer. And the Chariot is number 7 in the major arcana. 7 in numerology represents your connection to sort of wisdom and knowledge and your higher self, your higher consciousness. And this is about being repositioned now. So we've got a new beginning. Hold on. We've got the new beginning, which is represented by the Magician, and then we've got a new journey or a new avenue or a new direction, which is represented by the Chariot. But the Chariot is talking about the fact that you must listen to your intuition in order to guide you to the direction that it is that you need to go down. So wherever Spirit is leading you to is where you should go. Notice how you've got the 2 horses here, which represents there's some sort of duality or some sort of polarity. So there is one destination that will lead to your highest vibrational good and one destination that may not lead to your highest vibrational good. So it's about you using your intuition in order to discern which pathway and avenue that you pursue within your new direction in terms of career or business. I am going to confirm the Prosperity Lies Ahead card. Oh, we've got too many cards. Woo! There is a lot of cards that want to jump out at the moment. Bear with me, everyone. Okay, so we've got the Hierophant, which has kind of come out slanted, and we've also got the Sun. So I'm going to sort of talk about both of those cards. So the Sun for me represents happiness. It represents joy. This is the energy of Leo, so it represents happiness, it represents joy, it represents success, and it does indicate prosperity. So this is that divine masculine energy. We also have the Hierophant, which is in the reverse. Now the Hierophant is number 5 in the major arcana, and 5 in numerology represents change and transformation. The Hierophant is about belief. It represents faith. It can also represent organizations and institutions. So this could be talking about the fact that actually how I'm reading this is that whilst the organizations and institutions that regulate and govern us, which we rely upon within the context of business, service, industry, etc., is crumbling and is causing this significant change to happen, this may sort of increase the amount of creativity that we have in order to create our own new opportunity that we feel very passionate about. And this is essentially going to create the prosperity. The other way I'm looking at it is that some of you may be a little bit hesitant about the direction that you're moving in, and you might be a little bit worried about whether by changing careers or changing jobs you're still going to be able to provide. And this represents possibly a lack of belief or a lack of faith, but with the Sun appearing here, it makes it a lot more positive, because what it's actually saying is don't worry, the divine has got you. This is a surefire sign of success. The Hierophant also represents the energy of Taurus, which is the earth energy of sort of material possession and things. So I am going to pull for Gibbous Moon, and then I will close out your reading with Angels of Abundance. So we've got the King of Pentacles in the reverse. Yep. There's, again, earth energy of Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. In the upright, this is talking about success. It's talking about growth. It's talking about stability. It's talking about security. It's talking about abundance. But in the reverse, this represents I feel like this represents your energy. You're feeling quite hesitant that this new direction is going to lead you to growth and expansion. But you need to, again, for me, it's a double confirmation of the Hierophant. It's about having a lot of faith that you are moving in the right direction, that you are being supported. And Spirit is saying, don't worry, because you are very close to achieving your goal, which is beautiful. And what's at the bottom of the deck here is the Lovers card, and that's number 6. And this is about an ideal partnership. So for some of you, you're going to be moving towards an ideal partnership. So this is in the context of possibly a business collaboration, possibly something of creative nature. For some of you, this could also indicate new employment. So this can represent a contract, an ideal business contract partnership from an employer. So this is beautiful energy. I am going to pull some Angels of Abundance just to close out the reading. So let's see what messages Spirit has for us to close out your reading today. Okay, so we'll take these two. So what we're seeing here is attracting, not chasing. So it says anything or anyone you chase after will run the other way because of the fears underlying the chasing energy. Instead, attract what you need by sending out your love, gratitude, and welcoming energy. And the next card is visualize abundance in all forms. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you hold, everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive, and filled with blessings. And that is what you will experience. So this is a little message from Spirit to really focus on what it is that you want to bring in. Don't focus on what you don't want. Focus on what it is that you want to bring in. Know that you have the ability to access abundance, and know that your perspective is going to sort of dictate and guide your reality. So don't be scared, don't be fearful, but do what it is that you are led to do by your intuition. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got bountiful nature, which serves as a message to show that you have abundance, and abundance is almost like your birthright. And for you to be able to access this bounty, this blessing, this abundance that is available to you, you're being encouraged to go out in nature, spend time under a tree or in the garden or sit in the stars. Do something that's going to help shift your energy and push your energy into higher vibration. So do some grounding work. Possibly some of you may want to invest in a crystal such as maybe black tourmaline or black obsidian to help with grounding. So I hope that this helps. I hope that this has resonated, and I will see you all again very soon. Have a blessed full moon in Sagittarius. Take care. Bye.